Sam Logue here for irishboxing.com. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Eric Donovan today. Lily White lining himself in the Celtic Warrior gym. Eric, you've obviously got a massive fight coming up February 26th on the Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall undercard, top rank show. You're fighting a two-time Olympic gold medalist in ROBEISY, Ramirez. First of all, just tell me, how are you getting on and how's camp been?
Great, Sam. Honestly, buzzing. It's a massive opportunity for me. You're dead right. Great fight, great platform. It's going to be some show. And I'm right there in the thick of it, like, you know, against a legend, a Cuban boxing legend, one of the greatest amateurs of all time, ROBEISY Ramirez. And I'm just relishing this opportunity, absolutely relishing it. Camp's gone so well. And I know you hear this all the time, like people say, oh, I'm in the best shape of my life or whatever. But I literally am. I feel absolutely wonderful. I feel strong, I feel healthy. And we left no stone unturned, so I cannot wait for Saturday week.
We were talking slightly off camera, or before off camera there a while ago, and you were talking to me about coming through camp unscathed, without kind of any knocks or injuries. It's kind of almost not normal for you. You're kind of used to having a few knocks and being maybe not injured, but you know, having a bit of a niggle here and there. What kind of confidence does that give you going into a very hard fight when you're kind of coming through camp and you're going, do you know what, I feel great, I feel the best I've ever felt?
Oh, it means a hell of a lot. It's great reassurance, honestly. Like, I'm 36 and you know, so I had to pick up a lot knocks, maybe quite easier than the next guy, but you know, it's professional boxing. You're preparing for the biggest test, so you have to put your body through the mill. You know, you can't cruise through this, you can't go through the motions, you have to go deep, you have to go hard, and all the sparring is hard, the S&Cs are hard, the training is hard. And to come through it and finish up your sparring, which I finished my last sparring today, and to know that there's no knocks, no little, you know, kind of injuries or anything like nagging away at you, that's brilliant. It feels great, actually, because that's just like, even getting past there is a hurdle in itself, you know. But no, I really couldn't be happier with how everything is and how everything's been, and really excited.
Does it give you a kind of extra bit of confidence, maybe extra 1 or 2% going into the fight, knowing that you're in kind of full physical capacity or full physical health?
Yeah, I'm very confident, and the reason where my confidence comes from, my confidence and belief comes from my preparation. I've prepared so well, meticulous in every way, the best I've ever prepared, and that's where my confidence comes from, and my strength and my belief, and I hope that it's enough. I hope it's enough to see me get the victory on the 26th.
So let's talk about Ramirez for a second. Two-time Olympic gold medalist. He's 8-1 as a pro. He was beaten in his debut, I think. I think it was like a 4-rounder, so maybe you can't look into it too much. But yeah, it's a big fight and it's a tough fight. I mean, he obviously has some pedigree. What are you expecting from Ramirez going into this fight?
We're just expecting the best Ramirez, you know, the best Ramirez. We know that he's been in with everybody, you know, he's been in with all the styles. He has all the ingredients, he has all the attributes, you know, so we just have to focus on ourselves and prepare Eric Donovan to be the best Eric Donovan on the night. And whatever challenge ROBEISY Ramirez presents to us, that we have prepared for that challenge and we're ready to overcome, and that's it. So every single day I go about my day thinking about Eric Donovan, not about ROBEISY Ramirez, even though I know I'm going to meet him in due course. But my day is spent on getting myself better, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every way, and so far so good. Excellent.
So let's talk a little bit about the occasion and the kind of the type of matchup that it is. Obviously, like you've already touched on in the chat so far, that you're 36, you're obviously starting to push on a little bit, but this is a bit of a crossroads fight, it may seem, at least to outsiders looking in. Difficult fight, you know. You had a loss against Zelfa Barrett at Matchroom Fight Camp, and then you came back with a good solid win. But it could be seen as a bit of a crossroads fight. How are you kind of judging this fight in terms of where you're at in your career? Is it something that you kind of felt you had to take at this stage? If you were a bit younger, would you maybe have sidestepped this for the minute? Do you know what I mean? What's your feeling on the fight?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not thinking about it from a future tense or a past tense. I'm just thinking of it from a present moment tense, and I'm living in the moment with everything, and that's how I like to live my life. And I don't think about if this had to come a couple of years ago, or if I was 25, will I have taken this? You know, these things are not part of my thought process. I've been offered the fight, and I've been offered the fight on the biggest show in town on the 26th of one of the biggest boxing shows of the year. Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall for all the belts, and I'm chief support against a boxing legend. I'm a professional fighter. If you want to be remembered as a good fighter, a great fighter, you got to test yourself at this level. You got to be in against the best. And when I do eventually hang up the gloves, I want to look back on my career with pride and to say, I did that. And because if you're a professional fighter and you don't test yourself, or if you don't operate at the elite level, then it's pretty poor. What have you done with your time, you know? I want to make sure that my time spent sacrificing, putting in the hard work, the hard graft, is worth it when I look back on my career. And I am so pumped up for this fight.
Do you see this as pretty much a win-win, because it's a tough matchup, but it's on a massive platform? So is the kind of thinking like, get in there, you're obviously coming to win, you believe you can win the fight, but even if you weren't to win the fight, you're on a massive platform, and that maybe other opportunities can produce themselves on a Top Rank show or on another Sky show. Is that part of the mentality as well, that kind of win-win?
Well, yeah, in a way that, like, we're thinking performance. All we got to do is go and perform. Perform. The result is really out of my hands, because the judges are around the ring. I can't guarantee the outcome is going to be of this fight. But what I can guarantee is that I can give everything I have. And that's all I can control. I've prepared so well, and I'm going to get out there on the 26th and deliver, really stand up and fight, you know. And then whatever happens after that, we'll assess it then. I don't want to go into it thinking A, B, C, or, you know, this way, that way, because that's not part of my focus. My focus is getting in and sticking with the plan of action that we have, the strategy that we have. Get out there, explode, deliver it, implement the plan. Boom, boom, boom. And when the final bell goes, we'll assess everything then. We'll see how it is.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think it's probably the best way to go about it, isn't it? You got to live in that present moment. 100%.
That's all we're in control of. That's all we're in control of. And that's, you know, at times as well, you know, to life, when you find yourself doubting or you find yourself being anxious or whatever, bring it back. Bring it back to the moment, because really a lot of the stuff that we worry about and we're anxious about is in future or past, you know, and no control over there. You know, bring it back to the breathing, bring it back to the present moment, and that's what I'm going to do. And on that night when I walk out in front of 15,000 people, I'm going to be alive, and I'm going to be present, and I'm going to soak it all up.
Was that a big part of the draw for you to take this fight, that massive crowd, massive occasion? And as you said, you kind of alluded to earlier on, it's kind of, that's what you're in the sport for, regardless of like titles or money or stuff like that, but big occasions like this.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, like, it's almost similar to Zelfa Barra fight in terms of platform, but there was no crowd at the Barra fight. So the added bonus of this is that it's going to be a full house, and I was kind of robbed of that during the pandemic over in fight camp. But, you know, I thought I might have blown my opportunity as well that time. But in the back of my mind, I always said, look, keep working hard, keep working, and you just don't know what will happen. And that's what I've done. I've tried to just keep my head down, work hard, and hope that I'd get another break. And here it is, you know, and it's at my most operative weight as well, featherweight. So I'm going to be really strong here.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big plus for you this time, getting it at your own weight. You're obviously sharing the card, as you said, like chief support for Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall, but Josh Taylor, who's an absolute megastar, like, to be fair to him. But you're also sharing the card with three other Irishmen. Kurt Walker, Kieran Malloy and Paddy Donovan, three kind of prospects, if you like. What does it mean to you to kind of be the leading Irishman, I suppose, on that show, and to share it with those kind of up-and-coming young Irishmen? Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's a great honour, honestly, to share the card with them guys, and they're the future of Irish boxing, you know, future superstars. It's only a few months ago I was commentating on Kurt Walker in the Olympic Games, where he was just dazzling us all with his silky skills and brilliant performances out there, unlucky not to come home with a medal. And then, of course, Kieran Malloy and Paddy Donovan, I was co-commentating on their fight in the National Stadium in the Elite Championships. So, you know, but they're all now on different trajectories and different pathways, and the fact that we're all together on the same card means that we'll bring a lot of Irish over, and we'll we'll hopefully our fans, they will. I know they will. The Irish are great supporters of each other. We get behind each other. We drive each other on, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of their careers as well. It's a great honour to box on the card with them, but I'm also looking forward to seeing what they can do in the sport.
I'll let you go now in a few minutes, Eric, but we don't get much yet, so I need to ask you a few questions. You're obviously here in Celtic Warrior Gym with Pascal Collins. It's a relatively new transition. A few months ago, I believe, you came over here. Just talk to me about working with Pascal and maybe your kind of reasoning for wanting to come over here. And obviously, you could have gone to many gyms, but you chose to come to Pascal. So kind of what were your reasons for coming here, and what has he brought to your game?
Oh, he's brought loads to my game. Like I'm here with him a good while now. 18 months now. So yeah, it's since the Zelfa Barra fight. To be fair, like, I'm getting the coaching from him. It's proper coaching, and you need that. When you've been so set in your ways as an amateur for, I was an amateur for a very long time, 20 years almost. And joined boxing at 7 years of age, and I didn't turn. Well, Jesus, I was 30 years of age turning professional. So I was so set in my ways, but over the first few parts of, or the early stages of my professional career, I was still relying on my amateur skills and my amateur kind of pedigree, and then when I got into the top end against Zelfa Barrett, I was exposed, and looking back on that fight, even though a lot of people say to me I did well and I did great, and I did, and I'm very proud of that, but looking at it, I was still very much a novice pro. I didn't have the know-it-all in the deeper rounds, what to do when stuff got heavy, when he came on strong, how to change tact, how to settle down, how to buy rounds, how to preserve energy. I didn't know what to do. Packy is teaching me all this stuff, and I'm a different fighter today than I was 18 months ago against Zelfa Barrett. So I think you're going to see the best Eric Donovan on the night.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's sometimes stuff that gets lost and maybe people don't think about so much. It's like, it's not just technical stuff like how to fight like a pro, how to fight like an amateur, but what to ring management, fight management, stuff like that as a pro that maybe Pascal is really able to bring to your game, right?
Completely, absolutely. And Packy is a great teacher of the sport, and there's very little teachers around anymore. There's loads of coaches, loads of padmen and stuff like that, but Packy reads the game, and we've been on the same page since the announcement of this fight. We've had a strategy, we see the game plan, we have a vision, we're working towards that, and that's brilliant because he breaks it down for me. I understand it, he understands it, and I feel like every time I come in here I leave with a little bit more knowledge, and I want to thank Packy for that because he's been absolutely brilliant, and I'm really enjoying working with him.
Yeah. That must fill you with so much confidence that you actually feel like you're learning when you come into the gym, which I think is something that is devoid of a lot of coaches and a lot of setups, like that guys that come in and go through the motions but they don't necessarily actually learn, which would be a big thing that I'd be interested in, that you're actually technically getting better and learning new information when you come into the gym. That's amazing. Very last thing we'll touch on, Eric, and thanks for your time today, I really appreciate it, is serious buzz around the gym. Like, I even feel it today, like real buzz. I mean, Ray's here, Ray Moylett, that is, Thomas Carty, Niall O'Connor, and all the lads are starting to get fights announced now, and there's a real big buzz in the gym. What's that like, just kind of being part of that buzz and being in the gym with all the lads?
Oh, it's brilliant, because for the first 3 or 4 years of my professional career, I wasn't really part of any club team or a part of a team or a stable, but in here in the Celtic Warriors I do have that kind of team spirit, team atmosphere, team environment. And not only that, it's like you mentioned those guys, Niall O'Connor, Ray Moylett, Thomas McCarthy, Jesus, all these boys, and these guys are in your periphery, they're in your vision, and they're training hard, and you almost feed off it. You can see that it's almost like iron sharpens iron. They're sparring hard, they're sparring well, they're tuned in, the mindset is different, and it's great because we all feed off that, and you've got a bunch of guys hungry, ambitious and driven, and I just love being a part of that atmosphere. It's a great family environment, I think, great team environment, but we're like a big family. We're all there for each other and support each other, and let's hope that the boys can get the job done in their next fights as well.
100%. Look, Eric, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. I've taken up enough of your time, but best of luck on February 26th, It's a big fight, it's a tough fight, but we believe in you and we think you can do it, and we can't wait to see the fight. But yeah, thanks very much for talking to irishboxing.com today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Thanks to irishboxing.com. Lightning, baby!